Modern Horizons 3 is absolutely nuts. Why? Imagine a portal, and imagine a bunch of squid guys started pouring out of this portal. What's going on? What are all these dudes? They're the Eldrazi, the new #1 tribal in all of Magic the Gathering. Very nice. That's right. Let's look at some of the other tribes that are now bottom tier, thanks to the Eldrazi. We got the Elf tribal, such as Voja, Jaws of the Enclave. Pretty cringe. Please don't ever play this deck. We got Lathril, Blade of the Elves. A little bit gay. You got a lot of elf guys. All right, there's nothing wrong with that, but they're all super hot, and you want to surround yourself by those guys? That's your lifestyle. F tier, though, for playing the elves, when you could play Eldrazi. Merfolk. All right, let's look. Hackball of the Surging Soul, or Kumena, Tyrant of Arazka. You thought this fish was hot when you watched Finding Nemo, and that changed you as a person. F tier, though, for building Merfolk. Then we got dragons. All right, the Dragon, Eminence, balanced. Miram, Sentinel Worm, double balanced. Then you've got your own dragon in a jar at home, I bet. That's what your damage is and why you built dragons. F tier. Moving on. Cats and dogs. Rin and Seri, inseparable. Just like these two are inseparable in Beast Stars. You furry freak. F for furry for building this deck. How could you? But the Eldrazi, on the other hand, well, the Eldrazi are just way different, all right? They're these outside of time and space type unkillable freaks, and that sounds a lot like me, all right? They're me, all right? That's me coded, all right? And they're S tier because they're me, all right? They're sick. Our commander is Azlask, the Swelling Scourge. He's 3 mana, legendary creature, Eldrazi 2/2. When he dies or another colorless creature dies, we get an experience counter. We can pay 5 mana, Wooburg, colors. Creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Scions and Spawns you control gain Indestructible and Annihilator 1 until end of turn. That sounds like the sickest commander ever. Sounds sick. You want to die? You get stronger from dying? Remove my commander. That's okay. I'll get even stronger next time I bring him out. We've also got him on a low mana curve. He's 3 mana. That's the cheapest Eldrazi I've ever seen in my life. All right? And he's got a win con attached to him. Indestructible, big pump, and Annihilator 1 means your scary opponents are going to get knocked the F out by this guy. Absolutely sick. And he's got hella curves, dude. All I'm saying is, whoo, he's kind of bad. All right. Basking Broodscale is the #1 most broken card from Modern Horizons 3 because let's look at it. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Basking Broodscale, you may create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token with sack this creature, add a colorless mana. And you're wondering, that sounds a little bit like it goes infinite with a ham sandwich. And it does. Cards like Tarian's Soul Cleaver, whenever a artifact or creature is put into the graveyard, put a +1 counter on equipped creature. That's right. Spawn, get rid of the spawn, boom, bada bing, you get that experience, and you just can do it as many times as you want. Then we've got Ghost Lantern. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a +1 counter on equipped creature, yada, yada, yada. Based and infinite. Very cool. Then we've got Ulamog the Defiler. All right, look at him. He's sick. Whenever you cast this spell, target opponent exiles half their library, round it up. Ward 2, sacrifice 2 permanents. And Uncle Ulamog the Defiler, that's what we got to call him because he'd be defiling everybody. All our friends are going to get defiled by Uncle Ulamog. Enters the battlefield with a number of +1 counters equal to it, the greatest mana value among cards in exile. This, not even cards that you exiled yourself, just any card in exile. So, pretty cool. And it has Annihilator X, where X is the number of +1 counters on it. Most likely at least a 6/6 in terms of counters on it, which is Annihilator 6, which is very terrifying. Your opponents are going to hate this guy. And what if I told you Echoes of Eternity actually doubles the trigger? That's right, it doubles Annihilator. Because if a triggered ability of a colorless spell you control or another colorless permanent you control triggers, it triggers an additional time. And whenever you cast a colorless spell, copy it, choose new targets for the copy. Annihilator just gets doubled. So now all your Annihilator 1s are Annihilator 2s. They're going to run out of land, and they're going to win. It's busted. This card is super strong, and it doubles that Cascade as well if you're running the old Eldrazi Cascade guy. Wouldn't recommend him, but it's cool. Then we got Spawn Gang Commander. Spawn Gang. Let's look at him. Whenever you cast this spell, create 3/0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn guys, and you can sack an Eldrazi, dealing 2 damage to any target. And look at him. He kind of bad. But he's good. All right. Same kind of vibe going on with these other cards from Modern Horizon 3. Writhing Chrysalis. When you cast it, you get 2 little spawns. He got reach. And whenever you sacrifice another Eldrazi, put more counters on him. Very cool. He just becomes a big guy. Same thing with Kana Kozilek's Unsealing. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4, 5, or 6, you make a bunch of those spawn. And whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 7 or greater, you draw 3 cards. Something you're just going to want to have because you're playing Eldrazi. Your mana value is kind of sick. And with all those spawn, you just get a bunch of mana back, which is really fun and really balanced. So here's how it's going to go. All right. Your opponents are going to play Goku or whoever their strongest verse is. All right. And nobody can touch, Goku except for 2 or 3 or 4 Eldrazi that just swing in with Annihilator and you have to kill him. You got to kill him. He solos the strongest verse. He's just, Eldrazi, solo your verse. That's all I can say. They're the best. So in conclusion, Eldrazi, stronger than anything else. Modern Horizons 3, I'm building them. Check the link down below to check out the deck in full. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you subscribe, subscribe. And of course, if you got some extra money lying around, don't spend it on Modern Horizon 3 quite yet. Donate to the children in Palestine. Would appreciate it. See you in the next one. Peace out.